ஆங்கிலத்திலே இதை நான் கவனித்து செயல்படுவது கடமையாக அல்லாஹ்வுக்கு முன்னால் எனக்கு அடைகிறதை நான் சுமந்து சொல்கிறேன். The practice of combining the prayers without rain or excuse is among the sunnah of sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's according to the hadith of Abdul Wahid ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, where sallallahu alaihi wasallam's amal has been narrated by Ibn Abbas saying, "Kana Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam yajma bayna adh-dhuhri wal 'asr wal maghrib wal 'isha biduni matrin wala 'udhr." Nabiyuna sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to combine between dhuhr and 'asr, maghrib and isha without rain or any reason. This is an authentic sunnah which has been practiced by the Sahabat ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, by Allah's blessings on the progress and the promotion of the Salafi dawah throughout the world. Such sunnahs are coming to light, coming to practice by many brothers of sunnah in different parts of the globe. Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for awakening the Muslims back to sunnah. But due to an answer or a discussion handled by our brother Abu Khadeeja, Abdul Wahid, al-Pakistani Salafi, al-Britani, it happened to bring certain Salafi brothers into a matter of confusion on this action. And it has been brought to my consideration to consider and handle the matter. Because of that, I feel the responsibility of handling it and getting the thing into better understanding, inshallah. Firstly, the matter which Brother Abu Khadeeja had handled was a thing which Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullahi alayhi had mentioned in his kitab Majmu' Fatawa. That's in the Majmu' Fatawa volume number 22, page number 31, where Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah had been talking about delaying the prayers from day to night, and then it's talking about the opinions of the ulamas and the different reasons, and whatever said, he had quoted a saying of Al-Khattab, "Al-jamu bayna salatayni min ghayri udhri min al-kaba'ir." Combining between the prayers without an excuse is among the major sins. And this has been made a reference by Brother Abu Khadeeja to make a point of evidence from the saying of Al-Khattab radiyallahu, where he come upon finalizing after quoting or mentioning the hadith of Ibn Abbas. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to combine between the dhuhr and asr and the maghrib and isha without rain or excuse. And then he says, but Umar Khattab's saying is such available that it is among the major sins if you combine without excuse. So at early it may be allowed, late it is not allowed. Such a type of decision has been taken up by Brother Abu Khadeeja. I would like to say, this handling of Brother Abu Khadeeja is a mistake for the following reasons. Number one, the narration of Ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, which is being quoted by Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullahi alayhi Majmu' Fatawa, if it was referred and checked by Abu Khadeeja, he could have come to better light and realized the place of its authenticity and evidence. But his hastiness had led him to this mistake. For that has been narrated by Ibn Abi Shayba in his kitab Musannaf on the authority of Waki, قال حدثنا سفيان عن هشام بن حسان عن رجل عن أبي العالية عن عمر قال الجمع بين الصلاتين من غير عذر من الكبائر. It is from a man narrated from Abi Aliya that Umar Khattab said, combining between the two prayers without an excuse is among the major sins. This sanad is majhul, which says rajul, from a rajul, without naming. And also Sheikh Nasruddin Albani rahmatullahi alayhi, his kitab al-ahadith al-da'ifati wal-mawdu'ah, al-mujallid al-ashir al-qism al-awwal, 10th volume, first part, hadith number 4581, 4581, رقم الحديث: من جمع بين الصلاتين من غير عذر فقد أتى بابا من أبواب الكبائر. Where Sheikh has quoted the text who combine between the prayers without an excuse has come one of the doors of the major sins. Where Sheikh Nasir says, Da'ifun jiddan. It is very ضعيف. أخرجه الترمذي وأبو يعلى والحاكم والعقيلي والطبراني والبزار عبد الغني المقدسي في السنن. Collected by Tirmidhi, Abu Ya'la, Hakim, Al-Uqayli, Tabrani, Bazzar, and Abdul Ghani al-Maqdisi fi Sunnah. And Hanas, and Ikrama, and Ibn Abbas. From Hanas, from Ikrama, from Ibn Abbas. And then, رواه الخطيب في الموضح الأوحام بين الجمع والتفريق. In that book, and Imam Khatib al-Baghdadi said, Hanas wa Husayn ibn Qais Abu Ali al-Rahbi wa huwa da'if. He is da'if. ولهذا قال ابن عبد البر في التمهيد. That's why Ibn Abdul Barr also quoted in Tamhid. This is the quotations of Sheikh Nasir. وهو حديث ضعيف. This is the ضعيف حديث. وقال العقيلي لا أصل له. العقيلي said it doesn't have any أصل, base. قد روي عن ابن عباس بإسناد جيد أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم جمع بين الظهر والعصر وبين المغرب والعشاء. With a good narration that has been narrated by Ibn Abbas that Rasulullah combined between Dhuhr and Asr and between Maghrib and Isha. قلت, that means Sheikh Albani says, I say, وقال الحافظ في الحنش هذا متروك. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani says in this Hanas, it's matruk. Matruk is a grading in ilm al-rijal, which is very worst grade. That means he's leftover. He cannot be considered. فقال حافظ في حنش هذا متروك. ولذلك لما قال حاكم أقبل الحديث حنش بن قيس الرحبي يقال له أبو علي من أهل اليمن سكن الكوفة ثقة. Hakim when mentioned Hanas ibn Qais al-Rahbi said his kunya Abu Ali from Ahl Yaman, lived in Kufa, and he said Thiqa, Raddahu Dhahabi. Dhahabi refuted it in the comments of Mustadrak. Biqawlihi Qultu bal da'afu. Nay, but they have made him weak. So that was the position of Imam Dhahabi when Hakim had quoted it as evidence. And then Sheikh says, Ibn Abbas hadith, which is quoted by Uqayli, is Sahih, is available in Sahih Muslim and others, which he has quoted as well. Now here I would like to say, if our brother Abu Khadeeja, if he has just preferred and checked these materials, it would have made it easy for him to understand its life. For we believe our brother Abu Khadeeja, a Salafi brother, and he is among those who understand with us on these references and refers and quotes with these. Sheikh Albani, Ibn Abdul Barr, and all these are our ulamas where we prefer. But it's said to say that he has rushed up without referring. Thus his decision has made this type of confusion between our brothers. Ilm is a amana, where we should know that we shouldn't rush up in matters. I would like to quote here what we used to hear from our Ustad, our Sheikh, Al-Imam, Sheikh Muhammad Nasir al-Albani, where he used to say, Ahadullah an la aqula qawla illa faqad sabaqani ilayhi salaf. I took a promise in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to say of a thing except I have a precedence of salaf to it. So that policy and a alim, a muhaddis, holding to him is a very great thing. That means he is not going to tell something where salaf did not say. So his safe side, it's not just the knowledge that I have, we rush up to make conclusion. It's not the talent of a alim to use that, or talib ilm. Rather we have to know that who before us were on this. Am I the only one on the globe to come with this? Who before us there were sahabas, whom Allah told, radiyallahu anhum wa radu an, Allah is pleased with them and they are pleased with Allah. So we are carrying an opinion and we should know that we should have a salaf from sahaba to us. Especially if we do not have from Sahaba anyone, even if it strikes us so strong, it's always better we be silent. And when we say anything from Sahaba or Tabi'in, as Ahl Hadith, we should first know the authenticity. Then only we can talk on any other matter. These are the attitudes which Ahl Hadith always maintain, is the authenticity. They don't quote things without the verification of authenticity. So our brothers of Sunnah, especially the brothers of Al-Hadith, the Salafi brothers who are engaged in Dawah, should be careful of these matters. Just because they write somewhere, quoting is not permissible, especially for the Talib Ilm who is handling himself with the Dawah without referring and verifying. Just because you read somewhere, it's not advisable you rush up and pass it to the public when you're doing da'wah till you verify. Look back, because there are so much ulamas who talk onto it. Like this issue in which a sunnah is being damaged by this hastiness. Otherwise, alhamdulillah, there's no any a'immat sunnah who, min ahl hadith, ever rush up to quote things without verification. So al-hadith doesn't have a methodology of quoting without knowing the sihha from what they say. Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqeen is our trend. Bring the evidence if you are to tell us. So in this position, our brother Abu Khadeeja, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make him stronger in his da'wah. The da'wah which he and many other Salafi brothers in that land and other parts of the globe are carrying is worth praising, and we have to cooperate and we have to promote. At the same time, such mistake has to be amended, corrected. For our comments on this mistake should not be a reason for damaging their da'wah or degrading it, nor their hastiness should not be a reason for damaging the sunnah. Both has to be realized to its levels. In this issue, Da'wat al-Salafiyya, especially the brothers who are engaged in it, like Brother Abu Khadeeja and others, I would like to share with them my brotherly concern of thought that when we are looking into the ulama's opinions and concepts and evidences, let us realize ulama sunnah, all of them are dear to our heart. We are not to cling ourselves to one and ignore the other. Ulama sunnah, whoever it is be, they are all beloved mashayikh to us. Realizing that irrespective of whoever the alim is, we should also know, verifying the evidences, otherwise we are leading ourselves into taqleed. Taqleed is an tawkhudha qawlan wa anta la tadri min ayna akhadht. Taqleed is to take a talk, you don't know from where you take it. That's what Imam Abu Hanifa said, لا يحل لأحد أن يقول بقولي إذا لم يعلم من أين أخذت. It's not permitted anyone to say of my saying if they do not know from where I took it. So these were the trends of our ulamas. They have been always encouraging us to know from where they took it, not just merely to accept what they say. So living on that manhaj and methodology, when our mashayikh or ulamas quote things and we want to promote it to the public, reading, verifying, checking is more better and good for the cautiousness, so that we don't fall into a mistake which may be by any other. For anyone, kullu bani adamin khata wa yakhil khata'in at-tawbah. Any son of Adam can do mistake, and the best of those who do mistake or those who do tawbah. So we are not going to be blind followers or close our eyes from evidences. Imams we respect and we take their knowledge, but more than that is to respect our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hadithu anni wala haraj, ballighu anni wala ayah. Convey from me even if it's a verse. So in that, to convey from sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to know it should be from him, anni, from him. That means the authority should be confirmed to him. Then only ballighu anni. And we don't end up like other jamaats using the hadith ballighu anni, they forgot the word anni. That means to confirmation from him they forgot. They just go to spread. The more before we spread how we took, we have to verify. Spreading is easy. Verifying is hard. Just because it is being told, it is being agreed, it doesn't become evidence. Looking to the Islamic history, and realizing their situations of da'wah at every time, we learn a lot of lessons. It's a trend of human that when they find that those who among them or front of them are saying the same thing, they happen to trust it. Where the blind following occurs. To the limit, even some people claim the ijma of such things because they did not find in front of their eyes anyone differing. So they call it ijma also. Where Imam Ahmad rahmatullah alayhi said, Man idda al-ijma faqad kadhib la'alla fihi khilaf. Who claim the ijma conscious he has told a lie, for there could be a difference. This is a great wisdom of Imam Ahmad. Because just we seeing in front of us everyone agreeing, claiming the ijma gives a concept to the message which we say to the person who hear that yes, it is an agreed upon matter. But it's not like that. There are people who differ. So this is happening repeatedly by many of us. We happen to live with a community or with a crowd of people, our area geographically, and we see in that our limitation or our boundaries no difference, so we think there's no difference. But there is a lot of difference. If you just cross your borders, you will see the differences. Okay, let me tell you something. Living between the many different communities, we see how the differences people are understanding, thinking, verifying, finalizing. So we feel sorry for the people who rush up to claim on certain opinions which are in certain geographical area as the only opinion on the globe. That's wrong. There are many opinions, many concepts, many ideologies. But realizing that, we should know how to handle the truth from the falsehood. Yes, claiming what the Sahabas carried as the haqq, the ijma is worth. Because that time there's the only Islam. But after them, the nations departed, divided, and spread. You can't just sit down in an area and claim it. If you want to know ijma, do the study from the Sahabas time. Verify it. There where the ijma starts and where the ijma conforms. Similarly, just we are looking between our mashayikh and brothers of sunnah and crowds and this, and we find them having an opinion on one concept, on one methodology. Don't rush off, my dear, thinking that's the only one. No, there are many other. I don't want to tell you to go to madhabs and tariqas and grounds of the geographical globe. No. I want you to go to the books of Sunnah, books of Salaf. You will know how close or far we are from Sunnah. Go back to the Fahm al-Sahaba first. Verify your opinions and ideologies and concepts from that. Then you know how you are firm or wrong. When this is ignored and you blindly start trusting, we end up like any other madhab. Although we have the name of Salaf, we end up like any other madhab, blindly following the sheikhs. This is not, or this cannot be tolerated to be called the Salafi methodology. No, Salafi methodology is not that. Salafi methodology is the Sahabas methodology. If you are following the Sahabas methodology, when you are confirming that is the right and confirming, mashallah. But you are taking an opinion of a particular period of history or time or people or geographical area and you are trying to fix that as the Salafi, now you're doing a great mistake to the Islamic Ummah. The Salafi dawah is from where the Sahabas started and the Tabi'in, Tabi'in follow. Where the ulama al-Hadith carried it in their books with their evidences. Like Imam Abul Qasim al-Lalakai, Ibn Abi Asim al-Shaybani, and leading Imams, Imam Ahmad Hanbal, and carried by Ibn Taymiyyah, different ulama sunnah till the end of it. So we are not going to fix ourselves with somewhere, with some crowd and say this is it. and every whole globe has to make it a Salafiyah. No. Salafiyah is that with the ulama sunnah, followers in the books, to say today it's scattered in the globe. Scattered. So you need to do a strong homework to realize it and verify it from the books of ulama sunnah. Lazy guys, they make the short run. No need homeworks, no hard work. Just stick behind a crowd and say we are Salafis and that's it. This makes more differences, divisions, and departure from the manhajul haq of the Sahabas. But if you do your homework thorough and do study, verify, you get closer to Makan alayhi Nabi wa Sahaba. So this is hard. يأتي للناس زمان والمتمسك للسنة كالقابض على الجمرة. The hadith of Ibn Abbas in Sunnah Tirmidhi with the Sahih Sanad. A time will come to the people holding on to the Sunnah is like holding on to the red hot fire. Charcoal. Correct. Holding on to the charcoal, which is not tolerated, not bearable for a person. But still we hold on it with Sunnah. We want to be with it. That's how it's been described by Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. يأتي للناس زمان المتمسك للسنة كالقابض على الجمرة. A time will come to the people holding on to the Sunnah is like holding on to the charcoal. So it's not easy. So now, how many of us are going to hold on to it? You decide. You need that patience. You need that firmness. You need that blessing from Allah for you to maintain it. Our abilities are not worth to maintain. So here in these issues, our Salafi brothers are advised, always know that our religion is with evidence. And our evidence is Quran wa Sunnah, ala ma kana alayhi Nabi wa Sahaba, the Sahabas teaching. And every time things are to be quoted with authenticity, not weak narrations. Keeping on that thread, realize you are correct from the wrong, whatever it reaches you. So this way, on this issue of joining between the prayers and what has been called by Ibn Khattab, which is not authentic and which has made an unwanted confusion to the brothers, I want to make them understand this type of hastiness of our brothers who are handling dawah without verification is leading to unwanted troubles. Allah make it easy for me and for all of those who are doing this responsibility of carrying this da'wah to be careful on what we say, what we quote, to refer back and verify the authenticity. هذا ما عندي وإن أصبت من عند الله